Linda, and I am part of Color Me Happy Fiber Arts along with Michelle. And Michelle is the real video expert in our duo. And so she challenged me to make a video talking about what my making goals were for this coming year, since we're here in January. It's a good time to think about goals and plans. And like Michelle, I don't really make big resolutions that I am trying to definitely stick to. I do sometimes like to think of a word or a theme that helps me focus on what I'd like to do during the year or what I would like the year to feel like for me. And so this year I have been thinking about the word sabbath, meaning a time to rest, because I can be very task oriented. I'm still working full time, and so doing Color Me Happy, in the stolen hours in the evening, on the weekends, and because I love doing it so much, it's easy for things to really accumulate and for the work to then become kind of overwhelming. And before I know it, I'm worn out and not realizing that maybe I need to work on getting rest more into my regular schedule. So it might be funny to be talking about rest and then talking about goals at the same time, but I think starting with the idea that getting regular rest and recharging and thinking about what's renewing my batteries and my zest for life is going to be an important thing for me this year. And because I love fiber arts and I love natural dyeing, I love knitting, that's primarily the fiber art that I experience the most and enjoy doing, making that a restful, recharging part and not something that feels like it's on my task list is what I'm going to try to focus on for this year. When I think about what I'm doing with knitting, with dyeing, with fiber arts, one of the things that I often get excited about is making things with new fibers or new bases that we're starting to experiment with in the dye studio. And so that leads me to think about a couple of things I have on my list that I want to make sometime here relatively soon. One of them is a hood, which I don't think you can probably see in the windows behind me, but it is snowing again here in central Indiana. It's really cold. We have two big dogs that really want to be walked in the woods every day. So I am looking forward to using our new DK Tweed to make the Hoodola, which is like a big hood, which you can also have the ribbed bottom of it. You can fold it inside and then it becomes almost like a balaclava over your face. We've really needed that. It's been super cold. So I'm looking forward to making that, and I want to make that one soon because I think I saw there's a day next week when we have a high of like 6 degrees or something. So I'm going to be working on that, and it's fun because it's a new base for us with the DK weight tweed. And then we also have a relatively new base that is a worsted weight merino silk, 85% merino, 15% silk, that I've really been wanting to try making something, and I've had my eye on the Riptide vest to make out of that new base. And I really like making vests. I wear vests a lot. I wear them to work. I think they're good transition pieces. And so the Riptide vest is really nice. It has a little small cabling detail in the front and some detail on the sides, but looks like a really fun, versatile piece. So I'm looking forward to making that one as well. I think for me, another thing this year that I'm thinking about making is cardigans. I've made quite a lot of pullovers, but it's been a while since I've made a cardigan. And often when I knit, I like to learn a new technique. That's another thing. Sometimes I'm looking at patterns and thinking, oh, I haven't tried that type of neckline or that type of shoulder construction. And I like trying new kinds of constructions. And so one big thing that I have never done is steeking. And so I think this is the year I'm going to make a cardigan that has some color work in it that uses steeking as one of the techniques. And so I'm looking forward to giving that a try. And another cardigan I would like to make is kind of a lightweight cardigan that would be a good season extender. One of our friends, Anna, made a beautiful cardigan last year out of our Flaxen base, which is a linen, silk, and alpaca. And so that made me think, oh, I really would love to have a cardigan out of that base. It's such a nice, silky soft, and yet gives a bit of warmth. So I think I'll make a springtime cardigan out of our flaxen base, maybe in our orchid colorway. That's a really warm kind of coral pink. That feels like it would be very springy to me. So those are some of my making goals. I have one work in progress, well, UFO. It's been a UFO for a long time. And as I was looking back and kind of cleaning out some things, I remembered I really like this pattern. I don't know why I kind of stopped. I think life happened and I got distracted, and then I just didn't come back to it. So it might be a little bit of work to figure out where I am in the pattern. But it's called the Pull Me Over tee. And I have been working on that in a nice gray tweed. So I think I'll try to finish that UFO this year, but I don't have a ton of other UFOs. I tend to maybe work on a couple of things at a time, and I usually get them done. I enjoy completing things. It makes me feel good, so I'm less likely to start a whole bunch of things and leave them unfinished, because that makes me feel anxious. So that's just a difference in the way that I make compared to other people. I do want to learn a new skill this year, and I'm very excited because Michelle has loaned me a rigid heddle loom that I have upstairs, and so I am really looking forward to learning to use that. And I would love to be able to make some tea towels, and I'm thinking if I learn to do that and I learn some different patterns, maybe do a sampler towel first and then learn some patterns that I like, and then looking way ahead, maybe that would be kind of some fun gifting that I could do for the holidays next year, would be to give some tea towels to family members. So looking forward to that, and I think that'll be really fun to learn and be a good fun activity to do, and will broaden my textile arts skills. And then I am always thinking about the garden. I love gardening, and in another month or so, it'll be time for me to start some vegetables. I usually start my tomatoes kind of early and get those going. I don't know, we may start some indigo in as well. It worked well to direct seed it last year, so we might direct seed that. But thinking about goals for the year, one of the things we had so much fun with last year was harvesting our weld and really doing our first, growing it from start to finish and using it in the dye studio, and that was super fun. And so we have a madder bed here at my farm, which is about 10 minutes away from the studio. And this is the third year, and so madder is supposed to be at least 3 years old before you harvest it. So when the ground thaws this spring, I'm really looking forward to seeing if I can dig up some of those roots, see if they're good enough size to use, and if so, experiment with getting some color out of them. That will be a longer process than it is for the weld, because you need to clean them and they need to dry. But I think that's a good goal to have for the coming year, is to do our first madder extraction with our own madder roots and see what kind of color we get with that compared to the madder extracts that we purchase to use. So those are my goals. I hope no matter what kinds of things come up and what kinds of new things I think about doing or get excited about, that I do continue to rest and make sure that my making is very restful and restorative, and not just focused on getting something done. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you are as well in the new year, and look forward to see what you're making and what your goals are, what you're thinking about too. Bye.